Hello there, this is Alterius Snake, and this is the beginning of my first playthrough of Dragon Age Inquisition. I intend to have it as I intend to post the whole playthrough, and here I go creating my character. I intend to, I chose to go with an elf mage. I chose the elf race because of the bonus against ranged attacks. That seems to be the mage's Achilles heel. And although I never played any Dragon Age game before this one, I've been following this game quite a lot in the forums and watching videos and stuff, so that's why I'm gonna dare to play on hard. And I also have a certain logic behind choosing to play as a mage in my first playthrough. It has a lot to do with what I want to do in my second playthrough. So I'm just trying to keep the playthroughs very different. So the plan for this playthrough is to have the Inquisitor being a defensive mage focusing on spirit and also having some vanilla damage with fire spells. And I intend to have a second mage focusing on ice mostly, and a little bit of rift magic. So that's gonna be Solus. I intend to keep him in the party. The other two are gonna be a tank with a shield and a dual wielding rogue. The dual wielding rogue I'm gonna have access to only later on. As for a tank with a shield, we start with Cassandra, but I think I'm gonna swap to Blackwall once I have a chance. But that's only an early plan. It can change through the course of the gameplay. So here's a character creation. I cut a few parts because it took too long. It took more than 20 minutes to edit her, and I liked it a lot. And there are many details you can tweak. She ended up having her blush a little stronger than it seemed at first. So when I chose it, it seemed very smooth. But in the actual game, I don't know if it was because of the light or because of the level of detail. It just stood out like in 19th century makeup. And I also had her eyebrow a little higher than I intended to. So along with some facial expressions, her eyebrow looked a little weird. And I chose her name as you can see later on. I chose her name to be Frilsarin. I don't know if I'm pronouncing it correctly. It's from Icelandic, and it means savior because I wanted her to focus on spirit spells, especially barrier. And another detail I might add is that I want both mages to have a little bit of lightning spells, especially the AoE lightning spell, because it causes a debuff to the enemy that you hit as your primary target. And this debuff is shock. So when an enemy is shocked, he takes more elemental damage from lightning, fire, or ice. So the idea is to have both mages shocking people, and then one using fire and the other using ice. As for the tank and the rogue, I think I'm gonna keep them also very vanilla, very common tank and rogue for the first playthrough, as I'm getting used to the game. I intend to play tactically, but I also want to use tactical camera as little as possible. Just because it's boring to keep pausing the game. So hopefully I'm gonna come up with ways using behavior options and some tactical options in the menus so that I don't have to use tactical camera all the time. And I also have a tendency to micromanage the tank when I'm playing sort of in action mode. I'm more likely to control the tank than the Inquisitor herself. So just a heads up. In case you want to see more micromanagement of mages, that might not be what you're gonna find here, even if I'm playing as a Mage Inquisitor. I'm gonna micro her some, but I'm gonna micro the tank. That's the plan, and I tend to micro the tank most of the time. So that's it. I hope you enjoyed my character. I tried to make her look like a nice girl because she's a healer. And I hope you enjoy the playthrough. So if you want anything like suggestions about, if you want something you can suggest in order to, if you want me to cut things or post things in its entirety, like, I don't know, maybe you don't want to watch me wandering around or messing with the menus too much, so you can tell me, and in the next videos I'm going to cut the stuff you want me to cut. So that's it. Catch you later.